Good morning. This is Aisha Khalid, and this is today's Quiet Echo. I will tell you a small secret of my trade. I often know more about my patients from the 20 feet of hallway between the waiting room and my exam room than from anything they tell me once they finally sit down. A man I have cared for over many years came in to see me last week, and before he had even reached the door, a question was already forming in my mind because his walk had changed. Not dramatically, you understand, just a half step slower than I remembered. A little more care as he set each foot down, and one hand grazing along the wall, just once, and lightly, in the way a person touches a railing they are quietly pretending they do not really need. He sat down, and he told me he was fine. But his walk had already told me something else. And a walk, you see, does not know how to lie. And here is what I have come to love about the walk, after all my years of watching them. A walk cannot pretend. People are very good at telling me they are fine. It is one of the first things we learn to say, long before we learn to mean it. A person can arrange their face and steady their voice and give you the whole brave performance from the chair. But nobody thinks to rehearse their own walking. It happens below the place where we edit ourselves. And so it stays honest, all on its own, when everything else has learned to reassure. We are taught, very quietly, to watch people walk. It is one of the oldest things a doctor does, and one of the least advertised. There is no fancy machine for it. You simply look, because walking, which seems like the very simplest thing in all the world, is not simple at all. To cross a single room on your own 2 feet, your brain and your eyes, and your inner ear, and your nerves, and your muscles, and your heart, and your joints all have to agree with one another, in real time, without you ever once thinking about it. So when a walk changes, it usually means the quiet conversation among all those parts has changed too. The body, you might say, files its report through the feet. Now, a study came out just this summer in a respected medical journal following a group of people all in their 80s. And the ones who kept up a brisk, natural walking pace, the researchers gave them the wonderful name of supermovers, turned out to be about half as likely to slide into memory trouble as their slower walking peers. And stranger still, some of them held on to sharp, clear minds even when the scans, and later on the autopsies, showed the very same wear inside their brains as everybody else. As though a strong and steady walk marked some deeper resilience the disease simply could not quite reach. Now, I have to be very careful here, because this is exactly the sort of finding gets turned into terrible advice by Friday afternoon. The study does not say you can outwalk dementia. It does not say speeding yourself up will save your brain. I am not going to stand here and tell you to go march faster to frighten off old age. The walk is a mirror. It is not a lever. It reflects how well the whole body is running underneath. It is not some switch you get to flip to change the ending, but a mirror is still very much worth looking into. So, 2 small things. The first one is this: learn your own walk, and then notice gently if it ever starts to change, if it slows, if it turns careful, if the stairs begin asking a good deal more of you than they used to. The change is not a sentence handed down. It is a sentence starter. It is the beginning of a good conversation to have with your doctor, and it costs you nothing, and it takes only a few seconds to raise. Because caught early, some of what slows a person's walk can truly be treated. And even in the times when it cannot, knowing a little sooner is its own quiet kind of mercy. And here is the second thing: keep moving, in whatever way your own body will allow. Not to hit some number on a screen, not to win anything at all. There is no magic step count anywhere on this earth buying you a guarantee, and I would never ever hand you one. No, you move simply because motion is how the body stays a conversation, instead of a collection of separate parts, all quietly drifting out of touch with one another. And if your body will not let you walk very far, or perhaps at all, then please hear me clearly on this. Your walk is only one signal among a great many. It is never ever the measure of your worth or of your days. I have known housebound patients with more pure life in them than any marathon runner I ever met. I catch myself now, I will admit, watching my own mother cross her living room, in the very same way I watch my patients come down the hall. I try hard not to. She is my mother, not a chart. But the doctor in me cannot ever fully look away. And honestly, neither should the daughter, because the walk is the body speaking to us, long before the mouth gets its careful story straight. And most of us, somewhere along the way, simply stopped listening. So the very next time you cross a room, notice just how you cross it. And the next time somebody you love crosses a room, notice how they do it too. The body was talking the entire time. My patient's walk told me a hard truth his own words were not yet ready to. And we are looking into it together now, early, which is the finest gift the quiet little hallway ever gave to either one of us. The front porch is open. Whose walk have you learned to read, and what did it tell you? Come and tell us. And if we get something wrong, tell us, and we will run the correction. The readers of the Cedar Valley News are gathering to share their stories and keep company with respect and no party lines. Come sit with us. I will put the link in the show notes. This is Aisha Khalid, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series, written by Evan Swenson, publisher, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the people in town of Cedar Valley are fictional, the study is real. Research published in the journal Neurology in July of 2026, led by Dr. Joe Verghese and colleagues, followed adults in their 80s and found those with faster natural walking speeds were about half as likely to develop cognitive impairment as their slower walking peers, with some retaining sharper cognition despite similar levels of brain pathology. The study is observational. It identifies gait speed as a marker of brain and body health and does not show deliberately walking faster prevents dementia. Gait can be affected by many conditions, and this episode is general information, not medical advice. Anyone noticing a change should speak with a licensed clinician.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News.